Yo there guys, this is Cob and welcome to Sundays with Cob. A couple of unusual things have been happening over the past 2 weeks for me. One is good, one is bad, so I'm going to keep you all up to speed with what is going on. Then of course we'll get right onto the Q&A. Got some awesome questions that I really want to get around to answering. So getting right into it, as a lot of you will already know, there has been chaos across YouTube for a lot of channels. Apparently YouTube has updated or changed its automated tool, which is supposed to detect and flag uploaded videos that contain third-party content. Third-party content can be anything from game footage that publishers don't want you to upload and monetize. It can be game trailers, it can be music used in videos, which is where I've been kicked in the balls. So basically around 8 or 9 of my videos were flagged for matched third-party content. Now this number isn't huge. There are a lot of other YouTubers who've been hit very hard with this. I know Hodded, Swifty, a lot of gaming news channels have had as many as 50 or more of their videos flagged. And of course, if a video gets flagged for third-party content, you as the uploader cannot monetize that video, meaning you make no money from it. You understand then why this is a massive issue for a lot of people. Now as I said, around 9 of my videos were flagged. Most of them were older videos, but one of them was cobrak-editing, and this really annoyed me as I made doubly certain to have permissions for all of the music that I used in cobrak-editing. I did eventually manage to get the claims lifted from cobrak-editing, but there are still a bunch of videos that I'm making no revenue from at all, and while it's not going to stop me from doing what I love, it is certainly something I can't help but worry about. As for what I'm doing about it right now, I'm looking into the idea of purchasing the rights to use certain music. I'm looking into buying the rights first and foremost to Blue Starly and Celldweller, two epic artists that I'm certain you guys will be happy to see a lot more of. If I do go ahead and purchase the rights to use their music and monetize videos with it in, you'll be hearing a lot more of them. There are some videos, however, that I just can't get the claims lifted from. I don't know where to purchase the rights to the music from, so they're just kind of sitting there, existing as flagged videos. I'm not going to take them down though, unless I feel like I'm risking a copyright strike on my account. I want to keep as much of my content up as possible. I don't want to steal all the videos away from you guys, if I can help it. And yep, that's pretty much the situation with that. I'm going to try and keep you all posted on how things are working out with buying the rights to some music. Hopefully it's all going to go smoothly until I can 100% safely use music like Celldwellers. I'm going to be sticking to some really old school tracks from people like RTPM that I know are absolutely safe to use. So if things do get a little bit repetitive, and now you guys know why that is, and I can only apologize for that in advance. It is temporary. Alright, something else I'm pretty excited to mention right here is the release of Addons 1. It is a warrior arena PvP movie. I've been working on it alongside Addons himself. It was a lot of fun to edit. The guy also happened to have epic music tastes. I'm going to link the movie below in the description. Do go and check it out when you've got some time, support it, show it some love. We are both really happy how it turned out, and I think you guys will enjoy it. Alright, news over. That is what I've been up to over the past couple of weeks. Now on to my favourite part of the video, the questions from you guys, starting with Vladimir Strobak, which I'm highly confident I'm pronouncing incorrectly. He asks, what did your parents say about YouTube or about World of Warcraft? They hated it. My dad especially. My dad is a very manual, practical, and outdoors kind of guy. He doesn't like computers, he doesn't like consoles. So he in particular hated the fact that I dedicated so much time to a game. He always wanted me to go outside more and to work with my hands. He had it in his head that I should take courses and learn how to be a mechanic or a plumber. But I was absolutely 100% not interested in anything like that. There were 2 things I found I loved to do. One of them was creating gaming videos, and the other was writing fiction. So I was very much, even as a younger teenager, more at home in my own head than in the surroundings in which I found myself, if that makes sense. I was a bit of a dreamer. My parents are quite old school, so they didn't really get it, and they definitely didn't understand World of Warcraft and why I love the game so much. Things did change a little bit when I started putting videos out onto YouTube. I remember I hit 1500 subscribers after about a year, and that was just a massive number, and I actually showed that to my mother. She didn't really get it though. I did show her the videos I'd uploaded, and she couldn't wrap her head around why people would want to watch them. But I think she did appreciate the number of people that were following me, if anything. And now of course, around 3 years later, what do they think of World of Warcraft? Pretty much the same. They don't have a clue what it is or why people would want to watch videos of it, but they do understand the YouTube part. At least I think they get it now. My mother will sometimes actually brag to her friends, telling them what her son is doing and how many people are following him on his website. And while I don't think she 100% understands what she's talking about, she knows enough to be proud of me, which is enough for me. I can't ask for more than that. And my dad still hates World of Warcraft, but he does respect the fact that doing what I do can pay the bills, so he doesn't give me any lectures anymore. Jason Caravas asks, if you were given the right to change anything you want in World of Warcraft, what would it be? Now, a lot of you guys will hate this. I'm not going to say anything about class balance because anything I change in WoW will be unchanged by some Mongo fat-fingered patch Blizzard releases further down the line anyway. So what I'd like to see in WoW is actual progression in PvP, TBC style. Every piece of arena PvP 5-set gear, that's gloves, legs, shoulders, head and chest, used to have a rating requirement before you could buy it. You needed something like 1550 for the gloves, you needed around 1700 for the chest and about 1850 for the shoulders and so on. I really loved this. I felt like it showed who was good and gave less experienced players something to look up to. In TVC I was pretty much constantly below 1600 rating. I wasn't good at the game at all. But when I saw another Warlock with the epic, awesome, insane 1850 rating shoulder items equipped, it just got me so pumped and motivated to keep on queuing for arena and keep on practicing. Also, if you only have the 5 main set items have a rating requirement, there will be barely any gear imbalance. 5 pieces of upgraded gear will make a difference, but not a landslide difference against a player who doesn't have those 5 items. Also, if this system was to come back, I don't think the weapons should have a rating requirement unless it is cosmetic only. The problem with MoP PvP from a progression point of view is that there is literally zero progression. You spam BGs, you cap your conquest with 2v2 arenas, you wait until the next week, you eventually get fully geared. That just isn't progression. You are not encouraged to practice your class and get better at the game at all. Gearing for PvP is a PvE style grind, and the only reward for pushing your ratings above 2k is a different coloured set to the one you already own, which you probably won't use much anyways because transmog sets from Wrath of the Lich King and TVC look way better than a lot of MoP gear anyway. So yep, that's probably what I'd change. Bring some form of progression back to PvP, make us want to get better and take away the grindy feeling. Ben Smith asks, I was wondering if you had to reroll and had to pick a caster, what would you play? And after much deliberation, I think I'd play a Boomkin, and this is mainly because I could also play Resto off-spec if I ever got bored of Moonfire spamming. Ellie Shaman isn't really my playstyle. I like classes with a lot of versatility and the ability to survive in 2v1s and 3v1s. Mage could be interesting, but I feel like that's the obvious answer, and I'm not sure that's a class I could stay interested in if it was my main. Priests, I hate. I once leveled a priest to 85 in Cataclysm, and I deleted it about 5 days later. So it would have to be a Boomkin or a Resto Druid. You're very versatile, good CC and utility, and I think it would keep me almost as interested as the Warlock class does right now. Pegan Blades asks, what do you think of the state of PvP at the moment and how do you think it will change in 6.0? And I think not a huge amount. In Wrath of the Lich King we saw very fast paced, bursty PvP. People would get global quite easily if things were lined up right. In Cataclysm things were slowed down, there were still bursty classes, but all in all, especially towards the end of Cata, pretty much every arena comp was a dot cleave. You had RLS, LSD, WLS and FPS. And now in MoP things are extremely slow paced. People like to think Chaosfall hits really hard, but even a 130k crit on someone with 500k health isn't really much, not when Chaosfall in Wrath would crit around 10k on people with only 24k health. And in Wrath, Chaosfall was not even considered overpowered. I would be very surprised if in 6.0 or Warlords of Draenor the damage was lowered even more compared to health. PvP really is quite slow paced in MoP. What I do think we'll see though is more damage outside of cooldowns, and what I mean by that is that it's very hard to land a kill as a Warlock without popping Dark Soul, just like a Sub-Rogue can't kill something without Shadow Dance, or a Red Paladin can't kill without their wings. In Mists of Pandaria, because the damage has been scaled to be way lower than the health pools, it is very tough to kill something without major offensive cooldown. So I think all classes will have more sustained damage, and major offensive cooldowns could even be nerfed across the board in WoD. Kyle Reese asks, do you like math? I don't like math, I hate it. I wasn't bad at it, I just more hated the fact that every math question has only one correct answer. It made it really boring and mundane to me. I much preferred writing, where I could be told to go and write an article or a story. It meant I could go and do whatever I wanted, and as long as I did it well, it would be right. And you don't really get that with mathematics, so nope, I really despise math. Ethan Clark asks, what melee class would you play if you rerolled a melee? Well, I hate rogues, I hate warriors. Enhancement shamans are only fun every 3 minutes when you can use ascendance. Windwalker monks don't look very fun to me. Red paladins, too much off healing. And again, only fun with every cooldown in the world popped. Ferals, have too many action bars to fix for every form, so screw that. And that leaves Death Knight, so I think DK is the closest you can get right now to being a caster melee hybrid. I like the damage style as well, I think, so yeah, it would probably be a Death Knight. Alright, that is all for this episode, guys. I want to thank everyone for the questions. We had some really epic ones, I think, this week. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. If you do want a question answered, please post it below in the comments, and it might just appear in the next episode of Sundays with Cobb, which will actually be in 2014. It's going to be a special one, I'm going to make sure of that. Thanks again, guys, and I'm going to catch you all a bit later.